Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. Those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Maria, and today I'm going to be trying some new to me makeup. One is the Natasha Denona. It's the mini Xenon palette that I did purchase when it was newly released about 4 months ago. I think I got about 3 or 4 weeks after it was released, but I never got around to doing a video on it, and I haven't tried it yet either. So today is definitely going to be a smoky type of look. I've already got my primer on, and for the foundation I thought I would bring out again, it's the Natasha Denona foundation, the Foundation X Plus Full Coverage Fruit Complex. I've used this before in other videos, and the last time I used it was probably around mid-spring, late spring, and I really love the feel of this foundation and that it doesn't let my oils show through too much. But I wanted to give it a go now that it is a lot hotter in the middle of summer here in New Zealand and see how it performs. You don't see a lot or many videos on this. I don't think I've watched any videos where someone's used this foundation. I'm sure when it was newly released it was all over YouTube, but I was really pleasantly surprised by this and I really like it. It's in the shade 40N light medium, and I'm just going to do 1.5 pumps on the back of my hand and see how that goes. I'm going to use a Sonia G brush to put it on. It's the Jumbo base one. And just see how this feels now. It is significantly warmer. I have got the air conditioning on at the moment. The air conditioning unit isn't in this room, but it's in the room just outside the door here. So I've left my door open so I get some of that cool air. So I think from memory, the other times that I've put this foundation on, I think I used a damp beauty blender, and I think I prefer that to the brush. It looks quite good. It's definitely more of a full coverage type of foundation, but I'm pretty sure it goes on better when I use a damp beauty blender. But it should all settle down fairly soon, even though I've got the air conditioning on. There's still a bit of warmth in the air, so it all should settle in. So now I'm going to put on some concealer. It's the Chanel Longwear. This is in the shade B30. And I'm going to use a Sonia G brush again. This is the soft concealer. So I use this to initially put my concealers on, and then often I also, the last step, I do use my fingertips, because there's just something about the warmth on your fingertips against under your eyes just helps it all settle in sometimes just that little bit better. So I've now put my eyeshadow primer on. I've done my eyebrows. I've also powdered under my eyes and my face as well, and the foundation is actually starting to look really nice now. So I'm going to put on some bronzer. I don't want to go too heavy with the bronzer because this is going to be quite a smoky eye. So I'm going to use the bronzer. It's from the Bobbi Brown. It's the face and cheek palette that came out last year. This is in the range medium, and I don't think this is sold anymore. I think they were a limited edition. I'm pretty sure they were, but they do have a beautiful blush, an illuminating powder that can go underneath the blush or on top or even underneath the actual bronzer itself. And then there is the bronzer. So here is the palette. Now, even though that this is probably not, I'll check on that on their website, but I'm pretty sure this isn't available anymore. There's no doubt she'll probably put out something similar again this year. Now, I use this palette a lot. I think it is really, really beautiful. So if she does put something out again like this, it's worth checking it out because they are really lovely. But this bronzer is a bit more subtle. But as I said, that's really all I want. I just don't want too much with today's eye look. So now let's get on to the eyeshadow. I also picked up the Macro Tech Eye Crayon. This one is in black, and I also picked one up in brown, and I have tried that and I really do like the formula, but I think I will use the black one today. So here is the outside packaging. I haven't even opened it, but I did like the colour story of this. I have watched a few videos on this when it first came out, and there was mixed reactions on it, but the looks that I saw people create with this were just absolutely gorgeous. So this palette is made in Italy and has a shelf life of 24 months from date of opening, but the Natasha shadows that I have last a lot longer than that. So it is the standard packaging on the outside. I'll just open it up so you can see the shadows a bit more clearly. And even though there has been a few videos on this, I will swatch this on my arm so you can take a look. I think the colours are really, really beautiful. And I did see a comment on someone's video a while ago. I don't know how old the person was, the subscriber. She said, oh, it's a beautiful palette, but I think it would be much better for younger eyes, so I won't be purchasing that. Well, I don't think it really matters. I think shadows, colours like this can look beautiful on all age ranges. And Natasha Denona on her website has 2 videos using this palette. And one is with, well, they're with 2 gorgeous models. One probably would be about 20, I think, if that. And the other lady is a mature woman, and I guess I would say she would be late 50s to early 60s, and both looks were really stunning. So age doesn't really matter. If you like a colour story, then buy it and use it and play around with it. You know, makeup isn't really such a big deal. You can always wash it off if you don't like the look, and just play around with it a bit more till you get something that you do like. And I'll just go over the black one again and this one here. And this shade is Blackest Black. Then we have Gloom. Then we have Chromatic. Then we have Mist. This is a really beautiful colour. It doesn't show that well on the swatch, but it does look beautiful. And then the last one is called Puff. First of all, I'm going to grab the Rapha number 2 to begin with. And I'm going to go into this grey coloured shade here. And I'm going to put that in the centre of each eye. When I first picked up this palette, I mean, automatically I would do my usual type of look. This shade I would probably put through the crease and smoke it up, bring out the dark and the metallic through here. But today I'm just going to do it slightly different and see how it goes. There is a little bit of fallout with this formula, but you just tap the brush a little bit. It's really, there's no drama. So that shade that I just put on is called Gloom. Now I'm going to take the Sonia G Builder Pro and I'm going to go into the lighter shade that is called Puff. And I'm going to put that in a corner and up through here. So I'm not really sure how this will turn out, but it always is fun to try just something a little bit different and see how it goes. This shade is beautiful. Once you start tapping it over that middle one, it just looks really, really beautiful. So at this stage, instead of doing my usual blending like I do with the Rapha 15 and the Rapha 14, I'm taking a little bit more time and just tapping it on. Now I am going to go through my crease and I'm going to go into the shade, this is the shade Mist, and I'm going to put that through my crease. I've only picked up a tiny amount, so I might need a little bit more. And this is through the crease. I'm just going to pick up a little bit more. Then I'm also going to use that same shade and just blend just a little bit through here. Just between the shade Gloom and that lightest one called Puff, just a little bit. Just so it looks a little bit more blended. Then I'm going to take the Sonia G, this is the Blender Pro. I'm going to go back into the shade Gloom. And now I will start to darken up the outer corner. So then I'm just going to take the Blender Pro again and just blend it out a little bit. But I don't want to take it right through to the middle. I want to keep this shade visible. Brush. Now I'm going into the black shade and I just want to go over the other shade. Now I'm just going to start to deepen everything up. Then I'm going to take the Sonia G, this is the soft definer, and I'm going to go into the shade Mist. And I'm going to run that underneath the dark liner that I just put on. Then I'm just giving my Rapid number 3 brush a wipe on my cloth in front of me. Now finally I'm going to go into the metallic shade and I'm going to put this in the inner corner and bring it out underneath a little bit as well. So I've nearly finished. I'm going to take the mini booster and just a tiny amount in that matte black again, and I just want to push some right in the crease. So now I'm going to put on some eyeliner. I know the formula of these crayons are really, really beautiful. The shadow so far I think is gorgeous. I think it blends fine. I think some people thought that the matte black shade wasn't as good as that single black eyeshadow that she has, but I haven't got that shade, so I can't really compare it. But with what I've used today, I think it's performed really, really well. So I'm going to put this eyeliner on my upper lash line and my lower lash line as well. So I've put the liner on, and up here it's not very even, and that sometimes happens with me with eyeliner, and especially black eyeliner. It's pretty unforgiving. So what I do is I grab a brush like this, quite dense and short, and I just go over the eyeliner and just slightly smudge it out a bit. And for me that just seems to work. Just have to go quite gently. Once you've got your mascara on as well, you can't really see the mistakes. So now I'm going to put on some mascara, and then I'll be back and pop on the blush and lipstick. So I've now got my mascara on, and I love this eye look. I think it is gorgeous, but I still want to smoke it out just a little bit more. So I'm going to go back into two colours, both using the soft definer. I'm going to go back into Gloom, and this is only for under my eyes. And then I've just wiped that brush down and going back into the shade Mist. So now we're going to go into blush, and I haven't used this in a video, and I bought this last year. It's the Bobbi Brown Highlighting Powder Duo, and it's in Pink Glow. But I really just want to keep the blush and my lipstick very soft. But I am going to put a tiny bit of this on. And how I'm going to use it So I'm going to grab a Chukahodo. It's the KZ3 brush because it's very soft. And I'm just going to go into the pink colour. Just going to pick up a tiny bit. And I'm going to put that over my cheek first. It's very subtle. You probably won't be able to see it at all. Then I'm going to take the Chukahodo. It's the F03 brush. I'm going to go back in to this palette that I used for the bronzer. And I'm going to use the blush. This is in the shade Tawny. And this is a really beautiful colour. But again, I just want to keep it very soft. I don't want too much colour there at all. Now this does give a little bit more colour. You can layer it. But that's not really what I want today. And then finally, for the first time, I bought a Giorgio Armani lipstick. This is from the Lip Power range. And this is shade 503. This is the outside packaging. And I think I may have tried this, and I think I really like the formula. I can't remember now. It was a while ago that I bought it. So here is the outside packaging. Hopefully it'll focus. It is really beautiful. And this is the shade 503. I think this will just be a beautiful soft shade for today. So I'm going to grab the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Pillow Talk lip liner. And here is the final look. I think that this eyeshadow palette is absolutely gorgeous. I had no issues blending it, and I did do my eyeshadow a little bit differently today. So there was different putting on eyeshadow and different ways of blending than I normally do. And I didn't have any issues whatsoever. As I said, I'd seen some videos on this, and some people thought the black matte wasn't that great at blending, but I didn't have any issues with it. I love it. And these two colours here, Gloom and Mist, I mean, this is lovely too. Just gorgeous. This is beautiful. And if you start to make a mistake with any of the two darker colours, you can start to go over with this or this one here, and you'll quickly start to fix any mistakes that you start to make. I think despite it being dark colours and you can get a dramatic look at it, I think it is still a really forgiving palette. And if you aren't used to playing around with makeup colours like this, I think this is a really great palette to start off with and start trying doing some really beautiful smoky looks. I know that when I see Tony later this afternoon, he is going to love this eye look on me. I love this metallic. I think it would be stunning on the eyelid as well. But today I just really wanted to play around with those mattes and just have the metallic in a corner. And I think it looks really, really beautiful. My foundation is holding up really well because it is very, very warm in this room. Even though the air conditioning is going in the other room and I have my door open, I'm still not really getting that cool air that I should be. So it's starting to get really warm and I'll need to go and stand in front of the air conditioner when I've finished this video. But the foundation is holding up really well. It still feels really good. And it looks a lot better now than actually when I first put it on. But as I said, I think the other times that I put it on, I have so many foundations that I can't remember. But I'm pretty sure I put this on with a beauty blender before and I really liked it. And it went on okay with the brush. It just took a little while for it to all settle in. And I really like that Bobbi Brown, the highlighter that I put on. Although today, because I wanted to keep the look really soft, I just put on a touch of this pink here. Just a very tiny amount. And then with that tawny shade Bobbi Brown blush over the top. But still really soft, and I think it's really, really pretty. I love the formula of this Giorgio Armani lipstick. This is beautiful. and I'll pick up another couple of shades in it. I'll see what they have here at Sephora New Zealand, but it is a really beautiful formula. And I also like the shape of it, this little teardrop shape. I think that's great for putting the lipstick onto. It's quite a unique shape, and it actually has function apart from just looking beautiful as well. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.